learned through this process?
You know, Pat, that's a fair question. Without the hindsight, I still feel very comfortable with the process that we followed, with the type of person we were looking for, with the resume that Todd has. And so I'm not going to rule out the possibility that I'll go through the same process and hire. It may or may not be the same resume that Todd had, but I'm not going to rule it out because, again, I think there's all sorts of circumstances. It didn't work. I'm willing to stand before you and say it's my responsibility. It didn't work. But I think the process and the type of coach and the type of person were all the right decision. It just didn't work.
How much will you pay a new coach?
Well, I always set out to say we're committed to this program, and I'm going to go out and see what the marketplace has and see what the marketplace requires, and we're going to pay market for the person that we find that fits out.
Attendance wasn't all on Todd.
No, and I hope I didn't make that impression. In the 3 years that I'm evaluating right now, attendance did go down dramatically, and the finances did go down dramatically. Some of that, both attendance and financial, had declined years prior to that. So no, again, blame some of it on me, blame some of it on Todd, and then blame some of it on circumstances and bad luck. I'm just saying that the 3 years that I am evaluating that are directly related to Todd, that's part of the conclusion, and that is one of the facts.
Do you plan to do more examination to bringing attendance back?
Absolutely. And the assumption there is we haven't been looking at what else we can do to try to improve attendance.
How much did player retention play? I mean, 9 players left. How much did that play in this?
I'm not going to speculate. I know that in order to climb out of all of these areas that we haven't been performing at the highest level, we need all things to be working appropriately and to the best of our ability. And so we're going to look at all those things.
Is one of your criteria somebody who is a head coach at the Division I level? Is that
Tom, I think likely, that's likely what the candidate will look like. However, there was a time when I've seen associate head coaches from very successful programs who, for all the reasons maybe related to the rest of their resume, are ready to take it on. There just aren't as many that would fit that category. I'm not going to box myself out of, if that perfect candidate is out there and the rest of their resume is solid, and I've decided that it's worth, all those other criteria are in place, it's worth the risk, I'm not afraid to take it. It's likely it will be someone with head coaching experience in their past, but I'm going to keep my options open.
Is there something anything that you've learned from speaking to the student athletes that might change the type, change a characteristic?
I don't think so. I think, I'm looking for all the things I described. I think our student athletes are looking for all the things that I described. And so we're going to go out and try and find that person.
Having to do this for the second time in 3 years, how much pressure do you feel personally to land the big fish, the right person?
I don't have any sense of having to land a big fish or the right person. As I said before, I certainly went into my relationship and hiring of Todd believing I had the right person. I want to finish and complete this process with the belief that we have the right person. I don't have some sort of pride factor that says, somehow, this is going to define me. The only thing that defines me is knowing I wake up every day, giving all I have to the Hawkeyes, and in this case, trying to find a person that our fans are going to be excited about, our student athletes are going to be excited about, and if that happens, then we'll be successful. We'll fill that arena back up. But it doesn't. I'm not trying to have it reflect on me. I'm trying to figure out how to do the best I can in the role that I play.
Where does this money come from? I mean, you're on the hook for a buyout. You're going to have to pay market value, as you expressed. Attendance is down. The economy's not great. How do you pull this off?
Sounds like tough times.
Well, you tell me.
Hawkeye Athletics is self-sustaining. 100% of everything we do, we have to generate it through, and our 3 revenue sources in big chunks are ticket sales, fundraising, and corporate sponsored television, radio, that corporate category. And we're going to have to push the envelope and make sure we're raising more money. The one thing that I will say is that on the ticket side, there is a cash flow issue. Anyone who runs businesses understands there's the total liability, the total amount of money, but the cash flow issue is something I'll have to figure out. But beyond that, if I look at our declining in revenue, I had to make a business decision, and the business decision is it probably won't take a lot to get that revenue back on a stream that would more than pay for some of these concerns. I have to cash flow it in the short term, and that'll be my challenge, and I'll have to figure that out. But in the long term, I have to make a long-term business decision, and that's how I came to that conclusion. But all of it will be athletic department funds through those three sources, either radio, television, corporate sponsor, fundraising, or ticket sales.